Hello again. I just finished a video about the Wilson documents. Wilson Memo. Wilson Memo was a document published, written in. It was about things that happened '97 when Admiral Wilson started, who was the leader of DIA, the Defense Intelligence Agency, started to make investigation where the department's money was going, and it went to black budget projects and to private organizations who did stuff. And he visited these places and met with managers, and the managers didn't want to tell him much at all. Not like, who are these private companies that helping him with the research, and where are they located, and so on. He didn't get much information at all. But what he did get from that meeting was that they were organization working on reverse engineering technology that had been acquired from UFO crashes, maybe from Roswell and other famous UFO crashes. So like Bob Lazar also talked about. And most ufologists believes that these documents are trustworthy. Okay, so this is like the first story and the fight for disclosure about the UFO topic. Then the most important stuff in the last years has been the 2 times whistleblowers have been testifying in Congress about different kind of UFO encounters. The most spectacular and by far most interesting one was the first one, where Commander Fravor told about the Tic Tac UFO that he saw when he was flying, and Graves and Grush told. Graves was another pilot who had had a UFO encounter, and Grush was an army officer of the United States who worked for to try to like investigate and get some kind of clarity in this one. So Grush wasn't an experience. He didn't experience any UFO or so. But what he did was that he was hired by the Defense Department to investigate different kind of UFO claims, and he tried to contact organizations and like ask them like what about this and that. But he got like Admiral Wilson, he pretty much got hindered by gatekeepers who told Grush that he doesn't need to know, so don't ask that questions. You are not authorized to know them, basically. Then after that, there was another hearing later, and it was much like, I think media-wise, the first one was a big success for the UFO transparency. It got a lot of media, and they were very good. These people, Fravor, Grush, and Graves, they were very good speakers, very interesting speakers, told interesting stories. The persons that was in the Congress, like they asked good question, and it was interesting answers, so it was a big success. Then there had been some more developments. Probably the most famous is that I will probably make a video about also. It's the famous jellyfish UFO, which was a UFO filmed over an American military base in Iraq, and it was distributed to UFO researchers George Knapp and his colleague in Jeremy Corbell in the Weaponized, who has the Weaponized podcast, and they released this very cool image of this jellyfish UFO, which is flying over, a military airbase, basically. And this was also very cool, very, very popular. And what the United States did was that they hired a new, because they had different kind of this kind of official UFO investigation program, like the Blue Book and the OSAP and then they had a new one headed by Kit Patrick, and it's called Arrow, and they released like a big document. And basically the idea of this organization, like the other one, like Project Blue Book and the others, it was basically an attempt by the United States government to not spread any information about UFO. The idea was you're going out and denying that there is no strange things, and many of the UFO organizations in not only USA but in many other countries, they have been told by the government to you're supposed to debunk any theories about UFO. You're going to say everything has a natural explanation. You can write a little bit about it, but you're gonna be boring persons. Basically, you're going to be boring persons, and everything has a natural explanation. And we are not doing any UFO research in the government. That it's just, but so they did that in this Arrow, and I read their Arrow report, and they say that we have no even in clear cases like the Tic Tac incident or the jellyfish incident, they say that it has like natural explanations, like there is no UAP or extraterrestrial intelligence or anything like that, or even like the Skinwalker Ranch incidents, for example. So what happened then was that another whistleblower, Luis Elizondo, he worked for the government, and then he quit and started to write books, and he told some stories. About one of the stories is the story that I'm going to tell you about now, which is that he and others, they gave information to a journalist called Michael Shellenberger, and he and Luis Elizondo and one more man was interviewed and questioned in front of the House Intelligence Committee, just like Grush, Fravor, and Graves. And they asked a question about, because Shellenberger wrote in an article that there is actually one government program that's very big, very active, and it's not like a small just cover-up story like Arrow or so. What's only point was to debunk and say there is no UFOs. And this, which had a very big special access program, it was known by the codename of Immaculate Constellation, and this special access program might have been the same program that Admiral Wilson was investigating already back in 1997, that he found people working with it, but he was hindered by gatekeepers to get much information at all. And this file submitted to Congress, I downloaded this file. If you Google Immaculate Constellation then first file is this one that I'm going to read for you and talk about. And this is like, it has been sent in to the US Congress. So it's like, it also said that it's approved for public release by the Department of State and Bureau of Public Affairs. So this one is legal to own and distribute, because one of the problems and why this second questioning in the Congress was a bit of a failure when Shellenberger and Elizondo was there, is because especially Louis Elizondo, he's written a very interesting book about this. But the problem is that because he is a former government employee who is still under an NDA. There is a lot of things that he's not allowed to tell. And it's the same by David Grush, who was also a UFO investigator for the government. And Grush is also, there is also a lot of things that is not allowed to say. So when Grush or Elizondo was asked, often they will say, I know about that. For example, Grush said, I have seen credible reports that the US government has spaceships and also non-human or earthly biologics, but he hasn't seen them himself. He's only seen credible reports about that. And when he gets like further questioned, like where did you see those reports and so, and then he and also Luis Elizondo in this second meeting before Congress, they would always say, I'm not authorized to talk about that. Maybe I could provide this information in a SCIF. But the problem with this SCIF, which is a safe, secure compartment, is that if, for example, Luis Elizondo would tell one of the congressmen or senators in a SCIF about it, then before the congressman would have to sign a non-disclosure agreement not to mention what they have said. So it would be pointless for the public, because then it would be the same. Like if the congressman would talk about it, then the Defense Department would sue them and try to get them in prison instead, for telling government secret, basically. So the congressmen and women don't want to have information, because it's just too big of a risk that they say something they're not allowed, and then the government would go after them or try to get them in jail, basically. So this meeting here, like there was just not many interesting stuff for the general public. So I feel like the UFO interest that was very big, it got a little bit down after this meeting here. And of course, it started again when the drones was shown this summer, maybe half a year ago, over in New Jersey, and I will make another episode about those drones, basically. But then when Bush became president, he said that he would like to. He told his chief of staff that he wanted her to start like an investigation. What was these drones and what can we tell the public about it and so on. But then we haven't heard about it. So I guess that the chief of staff got to gatekeepers, basically told it was none of her business or the president's business. So that's why Mr. Trump has not been able to tell anything about the drones, because of the gatekeepers, basically. Okay, so let's start reading this document and make some comments about this. So just to say one more time, this special unacknowledged special access program, Immaculate Constellation, might be the same special access program that Admiral Wilson investigated already in 97, but he met gatekeepers and couldn't get any more information than it was a special access program that worked on re-engineering re-engineering extraterrestrial technology, and it was made by a three-letter organization who outsourced this to the military industrial complex. And we don't know what exactly what, but it was the major like aerospace, like Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon, and all of those. Some of those are involved, at least, according to this Wilson document. Okay, so let's start here again at the ChatGPT, because I asked here like a summary here, what's Immaculate Constellation? So Immaculate Constellation is an alleged clandestine program within the US Department of Defense, perpetually dedicated to collection and analyzing data on unidentified area phenomena. The existence of this program was brought to public attention during a congressional hearing on November 15th, 2024, where journalist Michael Shellenberger presented claims from a whistleblower about the program's activity. And the key allegations is data collection and secrecy. The program is said to have amassed significant repository of high-resolution images, video, and other sensory data related to UAP sightings. Critics argue that this information has been withheld from both the public and Congress, raising concern about transparency and oversight. The government response. In response to these allegations, the Pentagon has denied any existence of such program. Department of Defense spokesperson Susan Go stated there is no record of a program named Immaculate Constellation, and emphasized that all special access program are appropriately reported to Congress. Controversy surrounding Immaculate Constellation highlights ongoing debates about government transparency regarding UAP investigation, balance between national security and public disclosure. And for example, here is a video. This is Nancy Mace, and she and some other Senate like congressmen, they believe Shellenberger's stories, because as they and some other congressmen told in the first meeting that they had been given not access, but they have been given location by whistleblowers, and they have went to different kind of military air bases where there were supposed to be this kind of programs, but they were not. Even when they are like representatives of Congress, they were not allowed to enter the military facilities. So she and some other congressmen believes this UFO story. So let's ask one more thing here. So on November 15th, 2024, the House Oversight and Accountability Committee convened a hearing titled Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena Expressing the Truth, chaired by Representatives Nancy Mace and Glenn Grothman, and this is Nancy Mace here. The session aimed at shed light on secretive UAP phenomena research program that was conducted by the US government, and addressed the Department of Defense reluctance to declassify related material. And this is the key witnesses. It was the Louis Elizondo, a former Department of Defense official. Elizondo testified that the US government possesses advanced technologies, not of human origin, suggesting covert arms race to reverse engineer these aircraft. He emphasized the need of transparency and expressed concerns over the suppression of whistleblowers. Michael Shellenberger, journalist and founder of Shellenberger presented claims of a whistleblower about a clandestine program named Immaculate Constellation, alleged to have amassed substantial evidence, including high-resolution photos and videos of UAP, and also Tim Gallaudet, who I've seen him videos of him also, and heard podcast about him from him, is a retired US Naval airman and CEO of the Ocean STL Consulting. Gallaudet recounted an incident from 2015, where an unidentified object with unconventional flight characteristics was observed during a naval exercise. And if I remember correctly, like he was also being told by senior officers that he should like drop because he wanted to investigate this more, but he was ordered by senior. I don't know exactly rear army what kind of stars, but he was called by an admiral with more stars, like to drop everything about it basically. And then this Michael Gold, a former NASA Associate Head of Administration of Space Policy and Partnership and member of NASA USP Independent Study Team. And I think Gold discussed the importance of scientific approach to investigation and advocacy of greater transparency to enhance public trust. And this and NASA, it's a difficult organization because most ufologists they believe that you can't trust the free letter government organization like FDI, FBI, CIA, and so on. They're just trying to DIA. They're just trying to cover up, and also NASA, because NASA is not supposed to be a government agency for defense. It's not supposed to be space force, like it's supposed to be scientific and so on. But many many ufologists, they believe that NASA is also involved in the cover up of UFO activities. I've been on like Reddit and other like UFO forum, and there's so many videos of like images from NASA broadcast because they have streams on Twitch and other places, and there is just so many weird photos like that people have like saved and uploaded to Reddit and other forums, and it looks like NASA is involved with this cover up of the UIP basically. And so what happened on this meeting is that lawmakers expressed frustration of the government opacity regarding UAP. Mays emphasized public rights to UAP findings, and yeah, we actually already read it. So this Sue Go and also what's called Kit Patrick from Arrow, they are just like trying to. It's nothing to see here. Just go home like and play computer games or whatever you want to do. So you can watch it all here, but we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to read this document here and see what is being said here. So I'm not going to read everything because some of it is just not very important. I'm just going to try to go for the most important here. So, an acknowledged special access program, Immaculate Constellation. Immaculate Constellation is an unacknowledged special access program established following the public disclosure of the ATIP LSAT program. So this was two of these programs that was just supposed to cover up, like, and you say like it's just not. There is like natural explanations for everything. Maybe you have something wrong with your camera or whatever. So this Luis Elizondo, he said that these are not just fake propaganda agencies, and then because of that they made this another one called Arrow, which is exactly the same as these two. And they say that Immaculate Constellation was created following these programs, but I don't believe that. I think actually this is another weird thing. I think actually that's just my theory, that Immaculate Constellation is the same program that has been like for a very long time, maybe even back in the 50s from Roswell, because as the Wilson document shows, there had been serious special access program which doing UFO research at least 97, and probably Bob Lazar said already from when he worked there at 89. So I would guess all the way since Roswell, maybe, or maybe even since the 40s or 50s. Maybe it was made during Second World War even. So But the thing was that this Immaculate Constellation, it was discovered maybe by the Congress in 2017, and Louis Elizondo might have been the one to bring this to attention to Congress. And it was determined that this program was not lawfully reported to Congress because Congress gives funding to these programs, but most of the fundings, a lot of funding to the defense is this black budget that is not under audit because it's a secret, basically. So Immaculate Constellation's primary mission is collecting imagery or intelligence on UAPs or reproduction vehicles utilizing tasked. So this reproduction vehicles is also interesting, like how like if when you start to think like what's like how um, like if something is coming from another solar system, here it needs to have some kind of like reproduction, weird, maybe they are used AI or robots or whatever. For example, those spaceship that I filmed on my channel, that's definitely some kind of orbs or light. They need to have some kind of being able to make their their vehicles also, basically. And because reproduction vehicles, there is some like theories that, yeah, for example, gray aliens or whatever, like they are doing some kind of reproduction by cloning or whatever. It's interesting, very interesting wording. Reproduction vehicle. It's interesting wording, and so let's read more about it. Utilizing tasked and untasked US military intelligence resources as part of the network of SAPs linked to non-human intelligence and UAP technologies. Immaculate Constellation acts as a nexus for collecting, analyzing, and disseminating intelligence on the activities, capabilities, and location of anomalous aerospace threats that originate from foreign or unidentified sources. The intelligence within Immaculate Constellation program primarily consists of high-quality image intelligence, collector measurements, and signature intelligence of UAPs, ARVs, RVs within Earth's atmosphere. The collection platforms involve a blend of tasked and untasked low Earth orbit, the upper atmosphere, military, civilian aviation, artists, and maritime environments. Immaculate Constellation pays particular attention to the enormous aerospace platform that has been developed by the study of acquisition technologies of unknown by foreign nation or unknown entities. UAP and RV signatures preferred operating areas are known to the program, enabling a degree of strategic awareness and warning. Finally, Immaculate Constellations shows that UAP and RVs are operating around the globe, often in close proximity to sensitive foreign access and location. So it's also classic that there have been a lot of more reports of drones near military installations, maybe military bases, maybe near nuclear power plants, and different kind of technologies that a foreign extraterrestrial intelligence would be interested to see, like how far have we come in the development of our civilization. The categorization of Immaculate Constellation as a parent USAP with various child SEPs under its umbrella indicates a high level of compartmentalization and secrecy. In effect, Immaculate Constellation serves as a central and parent USAP that consolidates observation of UAP-RV activities detected by tasked and untasked collection platforms. Sophisticated internal information securities control are a major part of the Immaculate Constellation program, which enforces compartmentalization by detecting, quarantining, and transferring UAP and RV imagery collection incident before they are circulated within the military intelligence enterprise. So there has been a lot of whistleblowers who have said that when they have seen something strange on on a radar or some kind of photo or whatever, that when they have reported that to they have like a way like to report this system to their manager, and their managers has like a way to report them to a special bureau, which might be this one, Immaculate Constellation. And a lot of people has said, for example, this Admiral Gallaudet, who saw this back in 2015, that like a secret government person who might might have been in contact with like a senior commander, or just someone from a Swedish agency comes and makes the people signing an non-disclosure agreement that they're not allowed to talk about that, and it's not allowed to spread the information or pictures or whatever about it. And they will also like delete files on the computer and whatever. For example, that was done during the famous jellyfish UFO incident, which was only saved because some military at the base, he just saved it basically to his private just to some private place, or otherwise that video would also have been lost basically. So sophisticated internal information security are a major part of the Immaculate Constellation program, which enforces compartmentalization, detecting, quarantining, and transferring UAP and RV imagery collection before they are circulated within the military intelligence enterprise. In conclusion, Immaculate Constellation shows that the USG is not only aware of UAPs and 2Os, but also foreign state effort to replicate UAPs. The data within Immaculate Constellation reveal capacity of the US Armed Forces and military intelligence community to detect, track, identify, engage in malicious transmedium platforms. Immaculate Constellation also demonstrates extant ability to detect, quarantine, and transfer UAP and RV collection incidents before they are observed secretly within the military intelligence. The part explaining why many otherwise cleared members of military are unaware of the UAP. Finally, the existence of Immaculate Constellation provides verifiable evidence of the witting participations of elements of the US Armed Forces, Defense Civil Service, and the intelligence community in a global surveillance and reconnaissance mission tasked with monitoring UAPs and RV and RVs. So this is pretty interesting. Maybe they have some kind of an AI technology that like watches all the military screens, and there is like a delay on the like on the radars or or the TV cameras or whatever for most like military observers, and different kind of stuff. Everything is like with the cell phones, and like nothing is private anymore now with the cell phone and AI. So maybe they are like trying to not show those images, and it probably was why I was able to capture like with my binocular, because it's just an old school binocular camera. It's not it doesn't have internet access basically. Okay, so let's go here. Section 2, USG Imaginary Intelligence. The USG maintains imaginary intelligence databases accessible to personnel with appropriate security clearance and mission need. These databases are scattered across various organizational services, leading to a fragmented ownership structure. This dispersion complicates the timely and comprehensive gathering of imaginary intelligence related to UAPs. Control over access to these datasets primarily resides within the military intelligence enterprise, combatant command, armed services, and others. And the IMINT collect datasets from the DoD reviewed for this report provide compelling evidence for UAP to which defy prosaic explanations. There is a large number of unique imaginary sensors available to the US military, including infrared, which is the technology that I filmed my UFOs in, for monitor video, thermal, still photographs, and so on. The multitude of wavelengths collected by these sensors have captured UAP characteristics that are different or impossible to observe with the human eye alone. Subtle atmospheric effects associated with the UAPs are visible through sensors employed by the US military and intelligence agencies, enabling unique analytic techniques. The verifiable chain of custody of UAP IMINT collected by the US military assets ensures a high level of confidence in the accuracy and integrity of the data gathered. The following examples are presented. So this is also interesting. There is like different types of UAPs here. So cuboid formation metallic orbs. So this is something, for example, if you've seen Skinwalker Ranch, you can see metallic orbs sometimes, and also in my videos that I've shown on my channel, it's also metallic orbs rotating so fast around like a central sphere that make them seem like they are glowing like a light, but actually, if you look at the like just a photo, not it's clear that they are like metallic orbs. So for example, this daytime forward-looking infrared footage is one that my binocular can have, and I saw lots of two metallic orb round stuff, and also one here. They can see they have seen even 12 metallic orb skimming the open surface at high speed before dispersing. I think I've seen that video also. The rapid and agile maneuvering of the metallic orbs were incompatible with known aerospace vehicles, and they were between 3 to 6 meters in diameter. The opening segment of this footage, the flew by in a cuboid formation. The metallic orbs were three vertical formations of four orbs, each arranged in three-pronged configuration, creating the illusion of a cube shape as distance. All orbs were white hot against black cold ocean in the FLIR footage. Each sphere created a faint atmospheric distortion both around itself and it as a heat shimmer contrailed. The metallic orbs moved in this cube formation over the ocean for some time before rapidly breaking formation as passed. The sensor platform lost track of most of the metallic orbs as they extended in altitude and accelerated in speed, but maintained observation on a pair of metallic orbs continuing the original. So I also saw like pair of metallic orbs in the videos I have on my channel, and the Tic Tac might also be kind of might be a big metallic orb. And another one who it's not seeing like so many metallic orbs. They are more like white. It's Chris Bledsoe on his Instagram. He has a lot of videos of, but they're not really metallic. They are more glowing, but it might be that they are metallic, that he's just not having the right zoom and equipment like I have, for example, to see that they are actually metallic orb. They might be a metallic orb that he's seeing also every day. Okay, so here there is another type of UFO that it's the fast mover observer transitioning over sensitive facilities. On USK networks, FLIR footage of small oval UAP flying at high speed and low to the surface. This footage begins routine surveillance of sensitive coastal facility. When the oval UAP rapidly comes into a fray, it flies over the coastal facilities. The oval UAP then makes a rapid turn towards orbit where it's tracked by a collection platform. The oval UAP is tracked flying low over the ocean at high speed. Before the track is lost, then it might go into the ocean. And then we have something else here. Intelligence vessels positioned to collect on reproduction vehicles. On USG networks, there is infrared footage of an imagery of grouping vessels engaged in collection at night, a specific area of Pacific Ocean. This footage was close proximity to the vessels. A large UAP triangle appears directly over the ships, and there three bright points are seen at each bottom corner of UAP, which is observed to slowly rotate on its horizontal axis. This rotation partially reveals horizontal bar sweeping lines, and analysis associated with these events is these triangles. There are lots of stories about big triangles that you can see. Sometimes you just see the lights, but sometimes you can see like a black big triangle, and they are known here as the reproduction vehicles. And it's where maybe this small they think here that these small metallic orbs goes to these triangles to get to reproduce and get more energy, and maybe down offload them because they need to offload their data somewhere, and maybe it's when they are meeting these triangle vessels. And most of these are like on YouTube, so you can Google for triangle and UAP, and you get a lot of footage of stuff here. And they have triangle UAP tails on Whiting vessels, but these reports are probably within the military, so they are more trustworthy here, and the random footage on YouTube, which could be made by an AI. If the photo is newer than a few years. And then there is other kind of triangle UAPs here. I'm probably not going over every one of these because it's more interesting when you see the vehicle than just having them described like that. But there are also large discs, boomerang UFPs, and this one, the jellyfish UAP, is probably the most interesting because it looks so creepy. And there is this both this one at the Mexican, but there is also one, no, not in the Mexican, it's in Iraq, but there is also here US-Mexican border. I think this one is also, and it's like the security camera sees it and the dogs sees it. They go and bark at it, but humans, yeah, it looks like humans cannot see this one, the yellowfish ones. So let's read about that. FLIR footage of an irregularly shaped UAP flying across the southern border. FLIR is irregularly by hot-cold emission, approximately by yellowfish floating brain hanging pinions. These UAPs fly against the wind with no visual means of propulsion, maintain an unnatural rigidity in its movement and flight path, and maintain comparatively low altitude of geographic features. In appearance and behavior, the footage of this UAP violating SBS resembles the class of UAP in Iraq. And there is like another one on YouTube with the dogs there of same ones, and this one is quite cool. And I don't know if that's true or not, but I read that these sometimes go to the water and then dive into the water, or they can like go at an extremely high speed into space, because there is like this kind of theories that actually they are kind of the motherships of the UAPs are actually like in the atmosphere, so because there is this kind of a plasma energy and stuff there, so they are the UAPs like go up to the atmosphere and to recharge and do whatever they are doing there. So then we have like this Tic Tac UFOs is one of the most interesting. I'm probably going to make on every single one of these. I'm probably going to make and collect like pictures and images and videos of like every one of these kinds here to like to get a better understanding of this one. So let's move on. And so here is another the most commons. So sphere and orb, these can also overall tic tac. This is like most common ones. There is also the triangle and a boomerang or an irregular shape organic. So they don't have the one that I have, but maybe they think that's an orb. Because those that I have on my channel is orbs going around in a small circle and it's probably because there is a bigger ship like inside that the orbs are going around is my theory, that there is a bigger spaceship that the orbs are going around, as you can see in the videos on my channel. So here is more details, that they could have different kind of sizes, different kind of behaviors, and different kind of biological effects. And I'm not going to go into the details here. I'm probably going to make a video of each type of most viewed UAP. And then, of course, there is some stories here about close encounters. And I will also make a video about, because I think this close encounter thing known as CE5 that's being developed by Dr. Greer is pretty interesting, because it's, in my opinion, you won't see a UFO unless you're kind of believing in it and looking for it. I've seen UAPs many times here around my city in Kristianstad, and it has always been when I have been actively looking for them with my binocular and trying CE5 methods. And CE5 is a method by Dr. Greer where you try to basically meditate, try to relax, and you try to send signals from your brain, that you want to know more about UAPs, and you're not threatened, you want to try to see them and learn more about them. Basically, Dr. Stephen Greer has videos on YouTube and on Spotify that you can listen to, and you follow his instructions. So this close encounter of the fifth kind, which is Dr. Greer's, all of those is pretty interesting. And someone like Chris Bledsoe, he must be a master of this close encounter by the fifth kind, because he can summon them every single day if he wants to. For example, when in the Beyond Skinwalker Ranch encounter, he just summoned hundreds of UAPs when the one night when the flight team, the History Channel team were there filming, basically. So close encounters, metallic orbs, and this also typical one, perimeter of sensitive facility. It's UAPs are more interested in some places, and another place it would be air bases or so. And another place that UAPs is very, very interested in, it's of course Skinwalker Ranch, where there have been so many strange things around that mesa, and there might be inside that mesa or underground, there might be some kind of a buried spaceship or so under there, and that's why they are so interested in it. Or maybe that's like a mothership buried in the ground. And so basically this, I'm not going to go through everything because the video is already quite long here, but this kind of proves, because this was good enough that it was taken into Congress, and this person who wrote this paper, Michael Shellenberger, he promised that he was not lying about this, and lying about this in front of Congress, he could go to jail if he would be lying about this. So at least Michael Shellenberger, he believes that this exists, this organization, the Immaculate Constellation, and that he has met a whistleblower who has told all these things, that the Immaculate Constellation has detailed pictures and also is observing and try to investigate. So this is something completely different than what Arrow, that organization that was just created just to try to get the UFO interest to die down. So there is actually a serious, if you believe this report, there is a serious investigation, and it's a very, very big but compartmentalized business in the defense industry in USA. So let's just read the conclusion here. So the official disclosure of the existence of non-human intelligence and their presence on Earth is a pivotal moment in human history. The nature of this information is such incomparable relevance to the public goods that it demands to be shared. Some may object and say that this close at this time poses too many risks. To them it must be said that we will never be able to predict how individuals, families, communities, and nations will react to revelations of such magnitude. Moving forward, we must guard against the lure of authoritarian solutions justified by expediency and appeals to natural security. The good in humanity will always triumph through time, and it's in moments of crisis that our capabilities for achieving the extraordinary are discovered. Be not afraid. So I can agree with this one. We should this is so interesting that we should spend time to try to understand. And I've been planning a lot of videos because I've been a UFO researcher for maybe 5 years full time now almost. So I have a lot of videos that I will make regarding this subject. So hopefully you can learn some about it also. So see you next video.